Hey there, folks, and welcome to episode 8 of Bonfire Man. Okay, here's how Bonfire Man works. I'm locked to specific chunks in the game. I have to interact with everything in my unlocked chunks exactly once. So that means every tree needs to be chopped, every enemy needs to die, every resource needs to be consumed. When I interact with something, it is exhausted. When something is exhausted, I'm not allowed to interact with it again. I'm allowed to randomly unlock a new chunk whenever all of the entities in my current chunks have been exhausted. When I enter a new chunk, I rest at a bonfire, as in the Souls games. Resting at a bonfire unexhausts all of the content in previous chunks that I've already been to. Now I have to exhaust all entities in both the new and old chunks to continue to progress. My objective is to unlock every chunk in RuneScape eventually. All minor rules and exceptions can be found in a Google Doc that I'll link in the description of this video. Let's go ahead and get to the playthrough. Okay, so today we unlocked the Al-Kharid mine, which doesn't have terribly much content that we can do at the moment because of our low mining level, but there is some exciting stuff there, like being able to mine copper ore now, finally. I'm going to swing over there in a second, just kind of to summarize the tasks, though. We got to kill an imp, which that actually is pretty exciting. Gonna kill 9 scorpions, mine 3 copper, mine 1 tin, and that's it. I guess I could also pick up the 2 runes that are on the ground there. And the rest of this is going to be cleaning up previous chunks, so if I can keep to my promise and lay off the recording in the cleaning up previous chunks part, we might be able to do 2 chunk rolls this episode. Alright, we're here at the chunk boundary. I actually just finished editing episodes 2 and 3, so for the first time I've actually gotten the fog wall graphic and sound effect and bonfire lit graphic and sound effect to work, and it ended up turning out way better than I thought it was going to, so I'm even more excited about doing it this way now. Hey, okay, very cool. Now let's go ahead and light the bonfire. Very nice. And of course we're going to spin since we can't actually sit at it. We'll use that to respawn everything. Awesome. All right. I'm going to finish this chunk like immediately. I already told you what's here, so let me just go do it. Let me start out with just killing all the scorpions real fast. All right, this is the last scorpion here that I'm killing now. No drops from any of them. The fire and water rune spawns are actually 3 fire runes and 4 water runes, which is quite nice. I'm going to go pick them up here in a second. Mark that. And then we'll try to mine what's in here. All right, first ever copper ore being mined here. Alright, I'm already basically done with this new chunk, so I gotta go find the imp spawn that's around here somewhere, then I'll be done for real. We'll go down and do Al-Kharid proper and move on from there. I guess I technically hit 6 mining there from the 3 copper and 1 tin, which means I can now use the steel pickaxe, so I thought that was a little bit later, but that's right, steel is only like level 6. Had to hop to find the imp, but here it is. Come on, big money. A lot of this playthrough is just going to be me killing imps, hoping for a pot of flour, which is incredible content, let's be honest. Oh my god, this one really likes to teleport, apparently. I hate you, game. It teleported into the cow pen. And now I can't get to it. Alright. Finally. Killed the stupid imp, and it dropped a hammer. Alright, the newest chunk is done, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. I got to spend several hours doing the rest of the chunk, so I'll talk to you soon. Got the Captain Arnov random event. See what we get from it. 125 coins is completely terrible for anyone else. That is actually a big deal for me. Represents a pretty big percentage of my existing wealth. Thanks, Captain Arnov. Should record this. I'm buying out both of the bowls from the general store. Can't buy them again. I'm trying to get... How many bowls do I have from picking them up so far? Okay, this will get me up to 9. I really like to have 28 or 14. Interesting part of this playthrough is I'm becoming really familiar with these early chunks. By the time this is over, I'll be able to tell you where all the item spawns are in this game, all the mob counts in different regions, how many trees are in different chunks. It's kind of cool. Alright, we're here for imp slaying content. Here's an imp. Come on, big money. Mind Talisman. I think I already have one of those. Here's your imp content. What we get? Come on, pot of flour. Burnt bread. Bummer. I'm gonna try to babysit the barley patch this time. It seems like it grows pretty fast, and I have a lot of reason to be back here, right? I need to kill all these chickens. I need to finish killing the cows. I have to pick all the potatoes. There's all kinds of stuff in this general area that's gonna give me cause to walk past the patch. So like I was talking about in the last episode or so, I think that for farming, I still can only weed each patch once per cycle, but I think I can do every kind of product that patch supports. And I have a couple reasons for that. It's because I kind of think of these patches as being comparable really more to like an anvil, which already I'm allowed infinite use on, provided I have the necessary resources, in the same way the patch is usable, provided I have enough seeds. But the other aspect, and this is probably the more important one, is that the main objective of this whole Bonfire Man project is to see content that is weird or unusual or uncommonly attempted. And like I was saying, if we were only allowed to plant one thing, I would just only ever plant the most efficient thing, which really isn't all that different from a normal account. But if I can plant everything once in each patch, you're going to see me planting weird shit for a long time, and I think that's a big part of the fun of this account. So I'm just going to go ahead and formally codify that when it comes to farming patches, obviously they're not the same as an anvil, but we're still going to have some kind of limitation. You can't just plant as many as you have seeds, but per cycle you can put one of each different kind of seed if you have them and have the level requirements for it. And I think that's going to cost something. Like, I'm going to have to really baby these patches to be able to pull that off. I just passed 41 strength. I think I lost my XP to level up notification plugin. Yeah, I think sometimes when I go to clear out my object indicators, I'm also losing recent plugin installs, so I gotta keep an eye on that. Okay, I caught the barley disease, but I didn't have money on me, so I need to teleport home really quick and grab some coins. I might use up my strange fruits so I can run back in time. I have to buy a plant cure. I can only do one of those per patch protector, so I actually don't know how much he charges either. I've got 3 strange fruits. Hopefully they'll get me there in time. Let's go. All right, plant cure is 25 coins. That's not too bad. I should probably start buying those from each of the dudes and storing it with the tool leprechaun so that it happens in the future. I don't have to scramble like that and waste strange fruits. Well, the patch is diseased again, so I'm just gonna keep buying plant cures, I'm gonna start buying 1 compost and 1 plant cure from each farmer every day. It's expensive. It's like 60 coins to do that. Having imp problems again. This imp is on the other side of the river on all of these worlds I've just hopped to. It looks like my barley's ready to harvest. I'm going to go ahead and plant some hammerstone. Oh god, when it said ready for harvest, it was actually diseased again. So that's 3 times this became diseased. I should have just paid for protection. I'll keep that in mind next time. Especially if I can't put compost on it. That means I probably shouldn't plant my hammerstone seeds, actually, because I'm not going to have enough plant cures to cover them. So I'll just hold on to them for now. Oh, hey, Evil Bob. All right, let's see what this gets us to here. 13 fishing. Imp finally ported out of the house. Let's see. Come on, big money. Kadava berries. I need those for a quest. I think I can also trivially pick them, and I might not be able to trivially pick them if I don't have the right chunk for it, so that's actually kind of neat. 3 barley, extremely worth it. All right, another imp here. Big money, come on. Let me double check how many imps I've killed total versus what their drop rate is on this thing. Well, I got the white bead. We're done with beads. If I roll with, that makes me a little bit more interested in rolling Wizard's Tower, because then I can just turn in that quest immediately. Pot of Flower is a 1 in 64, and I want to look at lifetime imp kills. Hold on. We've killed 32, so we're about halfway to drop rate. We definitely did way better than that on the beads, though, so I literally got 1 of each with no duplicates. That has never happened before. I think I've gotten my own beads for Imp Catcher like 3 times, that's right. Anyway, I'm back to chopping trees and stuff. I partially killed a Dark Wizard since the level 7 ones are pretty easy. got weapons up here, and I'd like to have my health regenerating while I'm doing other stuff like chopping wood. These wood cutting levels are getting real slow. 44 wood cutting. It's getting really slow. I think I average about 30 to 45 minutes per chunk, depending on how much is in there. So each time we add a new one, it gets nastier and nastier. I think in the first episode and a couple times I may have referred to this as a factorial man playthrough, but I'm an idiot. I don't know my math. Factorial is multiplication. The phrase I'm looking for is a triangular number. So I guess I could have called this a triangle man account. It's because if you imagine like you draw a triangle where there's one dot at the top, two dots below that, three dots below that, four dots below that, right? And you add up all the dots, that's the value that you land on. So the triangular number for 400, which is the estimate on the number of chunks with content in them in RuneScape, is like 80,000 something. If the triangular number for 400 is 80,200 and I do a chunk in about 30 minutes, then it's going to be about 40,000 hours to do the whole game, which is not a reasonable number. I think even the most insane RuneScape accounts are like 5,000, maybe 8,000 hours total. It also represents like half a decade of almost nonstop play. But it's not actually going to be that bad because as we progress and get further and further, eventually we'll actually be able to complete chunks and make them optional. And being able to remove a chunk and say, I don't need to do, I don't know, the ham hideout chunk ever again if I don't want to, is going to be really powerful in terms of speeding things up if I don't have to chop these 100-some trees every single time, you know? Hey folks, got another tedious Marstead ramble for you here on the subject of the whole triangular number thing and it requiring like 40,000 plus hours to complete this account. So as we've said a few times, the rules need to be a little bit flexible. The objective is for the account to take somewhere between 5,000 and 10,000 hours, which is still an enormous amount of RuneScape, let's be clear, but it's a much more achievable amount of RuneScape and similar to the amount of time that other hardcore restricted accounts take, like, you know, any of the area restricted Ultimate Iron Men tend to run between 5,000 and 10,000 hours. So we already have one rule in place to help tamp down on the number of hours this is going to take, and that's the 100% completion rule. When a chunk has been 100% completed, when we've exhausted everything in it once, it is now optional to exhaust in all future cycles. Now, this is episode 8, but I'm speaking to you from the future as I'm recording episode 20. And there's going to need to be another rule change in order for this to be reasonable, because it looks like the chunks we roll here at the beginning all have a pretty small amount of overall content, but if you roll even just one chunk that is full of content, it greatly slows the process down for all future cycles. So here's the rule adjustment. I probably should have come up with this as soon as we rolled the dual arena chunk, but I got saved by the whole unable to light a bonfire thing, and I think this is a more elegant way to deal with the problem. The rule adjustment is that if you roll a new chunk, and that new chunk has no new content in it, so it only has trees that you've previously chopped and enemies that you've previously killed, you still have to clear that chunk like normal, but you don't have to light the bonfire there. So by not lighting the bonfire, you don't unexhaust all the previous chunks, and you can effectively roll another chunk pretty quickly after it. So suppose a hypothetical chunk that only has copper ore and tin ore and a couple goblins in it. Since we've already done all of those things in previous chunks, provided I can immediately go in and do everything in that chunk and 100% clear it, then I can just pass through the fog wall and clear it without having to light a bonfire and unexhaust everything. That's the gist of the rule adjustment. I think it's going to be mandatory for this account to take a reasonable amount of time. Again, reasonable being 5,000 to 10,000 as opposed to 40,000 hours. So stay tuned for that to become relevant sometime in the future. And while I'm here rambling at you, since I'm not doing this every episode, I wanted to talk about one more thing really quickly. If you're interested in the specifics of the rules for this account, or debating them, or bringing things up before it might actually affect me, I have a link to a Google Doc in the video description that you can check out that has all of the little bits of rules and minutia that I've developed so far. I try to keep that updated. But that's it. Thanks for listening to my ramble. Here's the rest of the playthrough. One of my preview viewers who's been helping me with testing mentioned these sheep. And I was like, hey, you haven't been shearing those sheep. They cannot be sheared. And I guess that's an error on the wiki, and I should probably do my part to update the wiki. I don't know how many players are going to be caring about content like that ever, but I can give back or something, right? Come on, pot of... It's just a regular pot, god damn it. I saw the penis ashes. Oh, that's so mean. That's so mean. Rick Turpentine. A diamond. Right on. There's 45 woodcutting, which is maple trees if we find a chunk with them. I feel like I need to come off pause whenever I go fishing because I have so few opportunities to fish. Okay, I got my shrimp. Oh my god, the imp is here. Oh my god, the imp is here. I'm shutting up. Hold on. Please don't run away. Come on, this is our last imp for the chunk. Burnt meat. Okay. Black Knight. Only have the one of these, but it has a pretty interesting drop table, and it can technically drop a pot of flour at about half the drop rate of imps. So let's get something cool. Come on. 35 coins. Not a great drop from the Black Knight. 36 hit points. Just got dismissed, but strength 42. Meaning of life. I'm not going to get another strength max hit for like 6 levels, and that's going to be basically doubling the total amount of XP I've ever gotten. So I looked on the DPS calculator, and the Steel Dagger is still significantly better than the Myth Battle Axe. It's like almost 15% better. I'm down to just the Ham Guards and the Dark Wizards. So, oh, I misspoke. I forgot to go to the Drainer's Sewers, so I'll do that after this before the Dark Wizards. Going up on 31 attack. I decided to switch to attack since it's not affecting my max hit anymore. I got enough strength levels when I hit 42 strength. I'm not going to take it super far. I might just go 35 maybe. I don't like the idea of keeping attack 7 levels behind strength because I think 7 levels is when you double your total amount of XP. It's got a second ham robe, 2, so I need 1 cloak and 2 necklaces. Just finished up the Ham Guards. I have basically no health. I'm going to head over to Draenor in the sewers and probably going to die instantly, but I'll just sprint right back and try again. I noticed today that I didn't have the fishing spots listed in Lumbrid's Castle because it just occurred to me that I wouldn't be able to fish there forever because I need to do Evil Bob randoms for a long time and also get a fishing rod, which I don't think I'm going to get unless if I happen to roll Port Sarum soon. I'm going to head back. Hopefully I have enough health for killing the remaining skeletons and zombies. About to hit 32 attack. There it is. Going to 35. Skeletons and zombies are done. Got 4 skeletons, 7 zombies. I apparently got 8 zombies. That shouldn't be right. I think there's exactly 7 down here. If I accidentally killed one twice, I will simply kill 1 fewer zombie next cycle. I'll make a note to myself. Possible when I came back after dying that one of the ones that I had tagged, I got confused as to whether it was the one I was previously working on or one that I had actually killed already. So that's probably what happened. I killed an extra one. I'll fix it next cycle by killing 1 fewer zombie. All right, I got my bronze axe to ride the boat down and a full inventory of potatoes to cook. Let's go kill some dark wizards. I guess I also have to finish off the guards. I didn't do that before. And then we'll get to roll a new chunk. I had a little bit there where I couldn't record. I got an interesting body talisman from a guard. And a couple black wizard hats are new. So almost done here. These guys are still really brutal. Even if I bring all this food, I still end up taking like 3 or 4 trips. I got to get my magic up a little bit. Okay, I just finished my dark wizard kills. I think we're done. I'm going to head back to Lumbridge and we'll roll the next chunk. Okay, I'm still going to do my usual end of chunk summary. I think it helps to record all of this in case I need to recreate it in the future for any reason. So our current session data, just going to kind of scroll through this and let you review. Again, we'll see anything that's new or unique in the bank when I go to take a look at it here. So in the bank, we got Lantidime vials from those plant cures. That was a huge waste. I guess it was good to find out about it. Cadaver berries, which might matter. White bead, which is hilarious. We now have all 4 beads and didn't get any duplicates, which I didn't even think was possible. A diamond, which I'm not going to be able to use for a long time, but that's kind of cool. Grimy dwarfweed, 12 iron arrows from skeletons, I think it was. 2 black wizard hats, and the body talisman from the guard. And our cash stack's up to 1555. This particular time, I banked every single log I got, and I think I want to stop that next time. It's so slow. Part of my reason for doing it is so that we can make bows and bank them. Whereas if I try to make arrow shafts, that's kind of wasting the fletching XP density of logs. And if I burn the logs, I'm getting fire making XP that I don't really give a shit about. I'd rather be getting fletching XP. So at some point I'll probably sit down and grind those out, but right now I don't think they really afford me any benefit until I get access to flax so I can make bowstrings. Then I might care, because I might want to make some willow logs into a short bow or whatever. This again is the true XP gain for today. It's pretty good across the board. It's really getting brutal how much we're having to do in these past chunks. But you know, we're getting places slowly but surely. I think we're gonna get about maybe 1 level per cycle now in woodcutting, and maybe 2 levels per cycle in strength once I switch back to strength. That's slowed down quite a bit. Getting thieving to 15 would be incredible. Like, that's actually potentially going to unlock a ton of content based on just being able to pickpocket some of the ham members. I only get about 202 thieving XP per day. That includes the couple of XP that I get from picking the lock to the trapdoor. So getting to 15 is going to still take us a while longer, I would guess. 3 or 4 more cycles, unless if we unlock something that has thieving associated with it. We did get that Evil Bob random, so that's why we've got so much fishing XP. And even though I did a barley patch, it was basically a waste. I only got 3 barleys out of it, so it was a very small amount of farming XP. Although it was more than raking, so, you know, that's good. Just confirm. Can't do ewes, can't do trout. Don't care about critters. Picked up the items in the lumbered cellar, but can't do anything else in there. Ham hideout, I can't chop ewes. Ham basement, I can't steal from anybody. I haven't done the quest. Lumbered Swamp West, I can't mine. Can't go on the water altar. I can't do the Swamp Cave, and I think I literally can't do the Swamp Cave due to lack of funds for the candles. And also because any amount of effort I put into that would be a waste, because I can't even kill the 99 frogs, and the cave goblins don't even have an interesting drop table. Groat's Farm. Everything other than that cow pen I can't get into. North Al-Kharid, I can't do the fire altar. Although, do I have a fire talisman now? I might. No, that's the one elemental talisman. No, I guess this is body, not water. So no, I can't get in there yet. I wouldn't be able to use it anyway. Can't steal from the guards in Varrock. The rest of this is dependent on us locking the Shield of Arav quest. And obviously the yew tree. Puro, I need hunter levels for. There's nothing in the duel arena. Champions Guild, almost all of this is on the other side of the River Lum, so I can't do the majority of it. South Drainer, I can do basically everything except thieving related tasks. We did the Drainer Sewers, and the Al-Kharid Mine was what was new this episode. I think this took me like 5 or 6 hours. I might start running the life split timer on a chunk by chunk basis. I didn't want to have it on there because it's an extra thing to pay attention to and it's an extra thing to screw up. But I might set it up even just personally so I can keep track of it, so I can tell you exactly how much time it took me. I think I announced how much time I'd spent so far earlier. You can go back and compare to that, but looks like it's been a day and 19 hours. So 43 hours. Good lord. But doing this quick sanity check, it looks like we did do everything in all of the chunks. And I'm also going to go ahead and check the loot later to make sure that that all lines up, but everything looks pretty clean. The one thing that might be problematic is this extra zombie kill, and I'm just going to make a note to kill only 6 instead of 7 zombies in our next cycle. Oh, I am able to know how long this took me because I can see when the recording started. The recording started 6 hours ago. So when we got 10 chunks, it takes 6 hours, even if there's nothing new or interesting in the newest chunk. This is going to get worse before it gets better. So right, here's our total levels at the moment. Actually looking pretty decent. Happy with a lot of these. I think we are going to get combat high. We are going to get woodcutting high. But every other skill is going to be a big pain in the ass. It means that anytime we unlock something new associated with these other skills, it's very exciting. I'm really hoping that I can level magic soon. It's going to make those dark wizards way less of a pain. I think it's time to roll a new chunk. Let me pull up the chunk picker. Alrighty, here's the chunk picker. No change from last time because unfortunately Al-Kharid Mine was an internal chunk, so we didn't get anything new on the boundaries. Though I suppose that makes us more likely to roll the chunks that I actually want, namely Varrock and Al-Kharid. I already went into this a little bit last episode, but just kind of quickly summarize. I would love to get the windmill for flour so I can do cook's assistant. I'll do a ton of cooking if I get that. This would be a fine chunk because it's got a bank and some other interesting things in it. More mining would be cool, although I think that's basically all that's in that chunk. There might also be like another 100 trees or something. I keep getting chunks that have lots of trees in them. Mage Training Arena would suck. Hill Giants would suck less, but still kind of suck. Al-Kharid would be great. Southeast Lumbridge Swamp might be interesting. I think there's fishing and mining down there. Wizard's Tower would be cool now. I would actually take Wizard's Tower. There's not very much there, but I could I could do my first ever quest, turn in Imp Catcher right away and get a very small amount of magic XP. Port Sarim might actually be the most exciting tile. Varrock and Al-Kharid are the ones I want more, but if we got Port Sarim, that would unlock all of the places that Port Sarim technically connects to as rollable chunks for the next roll, which could really diversify this account quite a bit if it lets us go somewhere, literally anywhere else. So that all said, let's see what we get here. I've had bad luck now for the last 3 rolls. I think we got Dual Arena, River Lum. I guess we got Trainer Village. That was 2 rolls ago. That wasn't too bad. That was actually quite good. Come on, Heart of the Cards. Okay. We got East Varrock Mine. So let me see what's actually there real quick. There's a bear, some giant rats, a goblin, and a couple unicorns. So not a lot of things to kill. I don't know that any of these NPCs matter. I'll double check in a second. No item spawns, no shops. We got the Kadava bush, so I guess that Kadava berry I got's not super important. 9 copper rocks is important, though, and I didn't even know that there were 9 copper rocks there. I desperately need to get a bank over here, man. Like, 4 or 6, please. Like, I have to run so far to bank from up here. But now we finally have not quite as many coppers as we do tins. No, I think because there's 8 tin over here in the West Varrock Mine, and there's another tin over here. So yeah, I think if we combine that with these coppers... Oh, but there's also 6 tin rocks. Okay. Still though, this is good. If I get these every single cycle, I might actually be able to level smithing a little bit. We can make a bronze crossbow, and then we can start training range, because I have a whole bunch of crossbow bolts in the bank. They drop way more frequently than arrows. How bad are the trees here? Oh, Jesus Christ, there's 85 trees in this chunk. Oh, I want to die. All right, that's fine. We can do it. I think it's going to be really important that I make that rule that once I get to 99 in a skill, any skilling activities associated with chunks become permanently optional after that point. I think that's super reasonable. Obviously, I'd still need to do them once to clear the chunk, but otherwise, this woodcutting thing, like this is basically woodcutting, man. There's so many trees in this game. Quest progression, clue steps, connections. Okay, and I still don't think I can do any quests. So yeah, it's probably one of the less exciting things we could have rolled there. It would have been worse if we got Mage Training Arena or the Hill Giants. Could have been worse. Could have been a little bit worse. I'll see you in a few minutes. We're going to go ahead and keep going with this episode. It's probably going to go a little bit over, well, quite a bit over an hour. If I end up having a comparable amount of commentary for all of the chunks we've already done. Again, like I just did. I went to go record this like it was a new episode, but let me head out to the chunk boundary. I'm actually going to go ahead and bring some of the things I need here. The new chunk has a black bear, 3 giant rats, a goblin, 2 unicorns, 9 copper is the money thing in this chunk, 6 tin iron that I can't use, a lot of trees, some cadavers and red berries. So I'm going to bring an axe and a pickaxe. All right, here we are at the fog wall. Let's cross over here. I triggered too soon, but that's fine. And I knew I forgot something. The integrity of Bonfire Man is so important. I'm going to run all the way back to Lumbridge to get a tinderbox. Son of a bitch. Complete waste of run energy. No, it wasn't a waste of run energy. It was necessary. Let's try this again. Let's walk through the fog wall. Okay, I think I'm able to manipulate that a little bit better. Basically, I have to leave the chunk missing its final digit, place it as I'm walking, and then quickly click to the unlockable chunks, and I can make it so it goes away as I walk through. Fine. It only took me 44 hours to figure that out. Let's go ahead and light the bonfire. All right, and of course we have to spin, respawn everything in past chunks. Cool. All right, so what are we doing now? I want to check out what's in this chunk. I know there's a lot of trees. I'm not particularly excited or interested about those. I guess I'll go ahead and kill all the creatures here because there's not terribly many of them, and I don't think they're going to take up a ton of space in my inventory. I'm actually going to have so many unicorn kills by the time I finally unlock Herblore that I should be able to make a decent number of anti-poisons. This is a very nice mine. I'm actually not sure how many other mines have more copper than this. I think maybe the one in Lumbridge. But yeah, this is really cool. Finally have access to copper ore from a source that's not a random drop. So all in all, pretty hype. I'm going to go here and mine everything. Well, I got mining level 9. That was by far the most interesting thing in the chunk. I'm going to go ahead and clean up my kills here. I'm not going to get all my trees chopped just yet, I don't think. Oh, I don't think I realized that a big chunk of this chunk is behind this fence. So there might even be fewer things that I can do than I was expecting. I didn't think about this when I unlocked the chunk, but it's really convenient to have that section of the fence open now. Every time I've come up here via the chunks to the south, the farm chunk, I had to go all the way around over there, and now I can actually turn this corner. It was so annoying to go around, even though it was like right there. I would always be staring and like, oh my god, I just need to go like that. I can't. Also, can get back down into Al-Kharid now without having to spend money on the gate, which is, I'm probably going to do actually. It's only 10 to 20 coins, but that adds up after a while. All right, this bear is the only interesting creature. It's the only new creature, I should say. I think it just drops bear meat, so not really a big deal, but I'll go ahead and kill it here. Bear meat, bear fur, and an ensouled bear head. Didn't even realize those existed. There's so few bears in the game. Like, how would you go about getting ensouled bear heads? I think I actually can get across the fence. It looks like it's not chunk blocked there, so that's cool. I'm gonna go do that. Honestly, the worst thing about rolling this chunk is that the chunks that are unlocked adjacent to it are terrible. Like, I don't want the exam center, and I don't want the East Varrock door. I guess if I get this, it gets me closer to getting planks, which is really important, especially since I have so many logs saved up in the bank. I think over here, just trees. God, there's so many trees to chop. Well, there's a goblin I have to kill. Goblin dropped the beginner clue scroll. Charlie the Tramp. I still think I can't do any of those, but I'm over here in Varrock. I may as well go check. Also, I think part of the chunk that I just unlocked is unfortunately in the south part of Varrock, and I don't think I can get in there. I'll go look. I think I need to have other chunks unlocked to be able to get around through the gate. But on the plus side, I don't think there's actually anything I'm missing because of that. Oh yeah, I think some of the giant rats are in there. I was just looking at the spawn map, so I'll only be able to do 1 of 3 giant rats for now until we unlock more chunks. All right, so aside from chopping all these goddamn 89 trees, you've seen the new chunk. I should try to find the bushes, I suppose. I think there's a Kadava bush. I don't have the inventory space for them this trip, but I'll pick those at some point. Try to do that on each cycle, since I guess I don't need the Kadava berries very much on every cycle. But I think you use them for protecting cactus patches. All right, go ahead and hit that imp. I hit 33 attack while I hit start recording. Tinderbox. All right, Mr. Tramp, what do you want me to do? Pike, cooked by you. Yeah, it's a drop. Raw pike is fishing 25. Not that I have access to it anyway, but I was just curious how inaccessible it was. Should get 13 thieving from this guy. 13 thieving. 2 more levels until I care. Yeah, just confirming here that I can't get over there. Those are the 2 rats that I'm missing, and there's no way for me to get there until I unlock 2 more chunks, so. Another imp here. This imp slaying content is like by far the most exciting thing that happens in any of these cycles here. And sold imp head and a cabbage. Okay. This is another thing I'm doing over here, chopping these trees on the other side of the gate on the way to the exam center. I don't think anyone has ever done this. Why would you do this? Wouldn't you just pick a tree that's really close to a bank? So it's really cool. It feels really nice to be able to interact with all this content that Jagex put in the game that most players never touch ever. I'm kind of interested to see as the game progresses, as we get to later game chunks, if there's fewer and fewer unnecessary skilling opportunities, like fewer regular trees standing around because they know players aren't going to interact with them. I suppose we'll see. All right, got all the trees taken care of on this side of the gate. It actually wasn't too bad. I think I hate cutting trees less if I'm constantly fletching them. Okay, I think we are done with the new chunk. I think I've chopped all these trees. I guess I should gather the berries. I don't want to be carrying around my inventory, but I'd also like to just mark this place as done. There's 3 Kadava berries and 2 red berries. There are actually 4 Kadava bushes? I wonder if the chuck picker's wrong. Yeah, so East Rock mine chunk complete. I guess since I need to bank soon anyway, I'm just going to pop in here. I've got the steel pickaxe on me. I'm going to finish up the Al-Kharid mine chunk. I keep changing up my strategy for how to efficiently move through the game world. I really don't have an answer on it right now. Like, should I chop all of the trees across all of my unlocked chunks and then switch to PvE or what? This imp is a pain in the ass, so I'm going to kill it first before the scorpion that I just tagged. Come on. Imp RNG. Clay. Okay. No drops from any of the scorpions again. I'm going to hit level 10 mining, which I think is interesting. I forget what you get at level 10. I had just like ruled out mining as a realistic skill that we would actually ever be able to get XP in, so it's kind of cool to suddenly have to think about it a little bit more. Size 1 stars, which I can technically do. Hey, just a quick cut in from Future Marstead here. At this point, I like rambled in the recording for about 10 minutes about shooting stars, and I have a solution for it now. You've already heard me talk about it in prior episodes. The solution is that if a shooting star lands in a chunk that I haven't 100% completed in the past, then I'm only allowed to tap it 1 time and get 1 stardust from it, which is basically pointless, right? But if a shooting star lands in a chunk that I've 100% completed, I'm allowed to deplete it once per cycle, as with all other nodes that are depletable, like rare trees and fishing nodes. So in theory, that's eventually going to become a pretty significant source of mining XP. I'm not going to tell you whether or not I've actually completed any chunks that have shooting stars in them yet. It's going to take a while for that to happen. And scouting for actual shooting stars that I can interact with is also going to be a pain because I'm going to have to do it on my main account and just hop constantly to try to find a world where a star landed in the specific chunk that I'm able to mine them in. Anyway, I figured I'd edit in a minute-long ramble about that instead of a 10-minute-long ramble. Back to the playthrough. I went ahead and used that Chunk Picker V2, the one I've been showing for rolling new chunks. It's an amazing tool. I would use it more for recording, but I'd have to Alt-Tab constantly, and I kind of like having this plugin on the right so I can just show you tasks. But one of the things it can do is it can calculate your best-in-slot gear based on your currently unlocked chunks. And the Steel Mace that's dropped by the Black Knight, it's like a 1 in 128 drop. It is best in slot for us, though, so it would be amazing to get that. Okay, come on, pot of flour. It's a hammer. Bummer. Dude, I have gotten so many black robes from these wizards, like, it's comical. I think they're like a 1 in 40 or something drop, and I've gotten 6 of them and 50 kills. Why couldn't I get that luck with something else? It's actually kind of nice to have both the black robes and the wizard hat, in case we ever do, was it the golem quest? There's a quest out there where you need to have a set of black gear. I guess technically this guy also drops the iron full helm, and that is better than the Iron Man helmet, so 2 best in slot drops from this guy. One is 1 in 64, one is 1 in 128. Unfortunately, I only get 1 chance per cycle, so the chance of me actually seeing those while they're relevant is pretty low. I'm probably going to roll a chunk that lets me get better stuff first. But still, you know, dare to dream. Alright, let's see what we got from the prison event here. 544 coins, that is huge. That is an excellent reward. That's how much of my bank is that? I have 1578 in the bank, so yeah, that gets me up to 2k. Someone's probably commented this on a past video. I was rewatching Limpwurt's series just to kind of get some inspiration, and there's a part where he mentioned like crafting longbows to sell to the general store in order to generate some GP, and I didn't even think of that. So that probably makes the fact that I've been skipping the Lumbered Swamp Cave on the argument that I don't have enough money for candles hold less weight. But again, remember, if I had gone in there early, I would get more resources, so having not gone in there has been kind of a punishment in and of itself. It always sucks when I get the 1 coin drop from the Black Knight. Slap in the face. Got attack 34 and about to get prayer 24. Yeah, cool. 1 more attack level and I'm switching back to strength. Okay, I'm killing my last zombie here. No interesting drops, unfortunately, this time. Some money drops, I suppose. 100 GP is not bad. Alright, with that, South Draenor is done. I did everything else up here already. All right, Champions Guild chunk is as done as it's going to get. Oh, I missed a tree. Next is Varrock Southgate, which is right next door. I'm still going to leave the Dark Wizards for last, but I'll do everything else there. Still have a handful of things to do in South Varrock. Shear the Sheep and the Dark Wizards, and I think there's still an imp I need to kill. But I'm seeing now as I go down to do my next chunk, North Al-Kharid, why sometimes I was having trouble finding the farmer, because he can end up all the way over here. Fortunately, I have this full intersection unlocked. I should see how many full 4-chunk intersections I have like this. I don't think I have terribly many, but it can be nice to have. It's a lot easier to maneuver around when I can actually like travel through that, which I wasn't able to do before. Oh, I was speaking of the chunk picker letting me know my best in slot gear. I didn't realize this melee combat tutor gave you a shield, and that the shield has no negative penalties associated with it, so I can use it for magic defense when fighting the Dark Wizards. So I will take that. The training sword is bad, I think, but the shield's pretty solid. Imp up here. Come on, give me a pot of flour. I'm begging you. God, where did it port to? Son of a bitch. All right, take 2 on this imp after a world hop. Come on, pot. Good berries. Just finished picking up all the plant cures and compost from the 4 patches that I have access to. I'm just going to store them here. I'll use the compost for protecting barley. I might actually use it on the barley patch too to try to increase the yield. I think that works. I'm going to rake this patch really quick while I'm here. I just finished all of the chunks up to the farm chunk, so I'm going to start planting barley there now. This time I won't have to babysit it. Farming 5. Very nice. I think I can do anything with farming level 5, but it's cool to have. Okay, so I composted this and I paid to protect it, so I don't have to think about it. Since I don't have to think about it, I don't want to be in this chunk babysitting it. I'll wait to do that until we do the Hammerstone Hop, so I'm going to head to the Lumbridge Swamp. This is a really trash random event for most people, but it's actually pretty good for me. At least for now, while money is still really hard to come by. Gold bar, not so great, although maybe great. It's going to be a long time before I can smith a gold bar, but I'm probably going to be able to get my crafting up to the point where I can use that to make jewelry. Yeah, that's actually really good, now that I think about it. I hate gold bars on my main account because I have just bajillions of them from training smithing, but yeah, it's going to be really hard for me to get my smithing anywhere near the ability to make those myself, so once we get Al-Kharid and I can start tanning cowhides, we should get a decent crafting level pretty quickly, I think. Attack 35. I got the notification that my barley is ready to harvest. I'm going to go plant it, and then I'm going to go harvest it, plant these hammerstone seeds, and then I'm going to have to baby them, so I'll just stay in that chunk so I can see it all the time and use plant cures if I need to. I will use a compost on the hammerstone seeds, if only because using compost gives you XP. I completely forgot that that was the case, but yeah, you can totally get XP from treating patches with compost, and I need as much farming XP as I can get, so I will definitely be buying all 4 compost buckets every day. I'll be using 3 to protect the barley. I guess I don't have enough access to compost buckets yet that I can compost both the barley and the hammerstone, so in the future I guess I'll just compost the hammerstone to decrease the chance that I have to waste plant cures on it. Alrighty, this is my first time. I don't think I've ever planted hammerstone in the history of RuneScape, so this is why I'm happy to have this rule where I can plant one of each plant, because it's going to create more interesting gameplay, and that's kind of the objective here. So let's harvest the barley first. Hopefully I get more than 3 this time. That went pretty well. Compost. That got us to farming level 6 using the compost. I actually don't know if that unlocked anything. I don't think it did, but I'll look it up here in a second. And now I'm going to babysit this patch, since I don't have any marigolds to protect it. Just did 47 wood cutting. I'm kind of in a position where I can't record my audio too much, so I'm trying to quickly do things that aren't going to trigger level ups, but I lost track of it and leveled up there. Also pretty close to getting strength up. I'm about to hit a couple levels here. Here's 25 prayer. And I'm going to try to knock out 43 strength while I'm Pause there. There's 43 strength, and we'll switch back to attack. Here comes hit points, 38. I'm in the ham storeroom now, just cleaning stuff up. We still have a couple things to do elsewhere in the chunk. I'll try to summarize it when I have more time to talk soon. Okay, here's our last imp for this cycle. Come on, give me a pot of flour, please. I'm begging you. That is a jug of water. That is not a pot of flour. I never actually harvested the hammerstone. I had to sign off, so I'm going to go do that real quick. And then the only task I have remaining to do right now is the Dark Wizards. So I'll do that and report if I get any cool drops, and then we'll wrap up and roll the next chunk. Let's harvest these. I've never had hammerstone hops before. I don't even know what they look like. That's kind of cool. Getting a decent number of harvests here compared to the barley. Right on. That was amazing. This is an insane amount of farming XP for me. Recall that, like, normally I can get 12 per patch, so 48 per cycle if I don't plant anything. That's as far as I can go, so 252 farming XP today is amazing. I'm not going to be able to do the multiple seeds thing for very long because I've already bought out the Drainer Village stock, and I don't think I have any other sources of hop seeds, but comes attack 36. I'm getting back on strength here. Yep. Ooh, it's got a fire talisman. That is actually an exciting drop. I forgot that was on their drop table. I don't know what level I have to be to make tiaras, but I might be able to make a fire tiara with that. Let me look into that really quick. Tiaras are level 1 runecraft, and they don't require me to have... I was Googling things and died. My bad. They don't require me to have Rune Mysteries completed. So I guess if I get a bunch of those, and I only have one, I can make one. I also need to be able to get into Al-Kharid to get the tiara mold, and then I need to get a bunch of other resources. So it's not happening anytime soon, but still, that's cool. Okay, we are donezo. Finished my Dark Wizard kills. Okay, I'm going to warp home, and we'll roll our next chunk. Okay, let's do our summary of events for today. So starting from the top, East Varrock Mine, we did everything. Can't find the ore, though. Al-Kharid Mine, everything's done. I can't mine any of this stuff. Drainer Sewers, didn't kill the rats, obviously. South Drainer did everything except for thieving. Can't do anything with Sour Hogs. Can't do most of the Champions Guild chunk because it's on the other side of the river. We did kill the mugger and mine the tin, clay, and chop the trees. Can't do anything in the duel arena. There's nothing there. Puro, we can't do anything in. Varrock South Gate. The things that are red, other than the U and I guess the wheat, involve Shield of Arov. North Al-Kharid. I guess I can get into the fire altar now, but I can't craft any runes in there. And I can't make the talas of the tiara yet, but I will as soon as I can. I think that would be cool. Groat's Farm. Still have that cow pen that I can't reach. Lumbridge Swamp West, everything's done except for mining and the water altar. We killed the ham guards, but can't do anything else. We did all this, but we can't chop the ewes. We picked up the spawns in Lumbridge Cellar. The main spawn I care about in Lumbridge is the bull, and I guess the jugs. I want to try to get as many bulls as possible. I think I'm up to 10. I'd like to get to 14 and possibly 28 eventually, so I can start using them for training. I can use that with my eggs for training. I can use that with nettles for training. Lumbridge Castle, didn't do the ewes, can't fish there yet. Don't care about the critters. So yeah, it looks like I am correct in saying that everything is done here. Here's the summary on XP gain for today. Overall, pretty good, I think. It looks like we get about 13k melee XP per day, not including whatever we're getting to hit points. We're actually still getting a couple levels. It's going to start slowing down, though, once we get closer to woodcutting. Woodcutting, we get maybe 2 levels a day. I think it looks like we need about 7k per level, and I got 14k today, and that's going to get slower over time. So it's going to get bad when I have to chop all of these trees and I don't even get a single woodcutting level. Total levels, let me show you those. There's our total levels here. Pretty solid. And the bank, again, everything at the top is brand new. So we got red berries for the first time. We got camo bottoms. I got a random event that I couldn't record when I was babysitting. It was just the mime. I saw the mysterious old man spawn. I got excited. I still haven't gotten that random event. That's kind of the one I want the most. Fire Talisman. I don't think I can use the Hammerstone hops, but whatever. I'm going to keep the spade here. Actually, I'm going to withdraw it because I need to return it to the Tool Leprechaun. I keep forgetting that. I accidentally drank a beer from a goblin, so that's why there's a beer glass here. Jug of water. I guess just counts as a jug, but it technically takes up a different space. And then the training shield I think is grayed out because I think it gets destroyed on death, so I need to collect another one of those if I want the bonus again. Yeah, bank's looking pretty good. I think that's everything to summarize. Let's go ahead and pull up the chunk tracker here. Hey folks, only slightly future Marstead here. This is like 15 minutes in the future of what you're about to see. I made a slight mistake in the chunk picker. I forgot that there was one of the chunks adjacent to one of my chunks isn't actually accessible due to a gate that's in the way. And I forgot that was the case, and I kept it as a legal chunk, and I rolled the chunk and was extremely excited about getting the chunk and gushed about it for like many minutes. And it was only after I stopped recording afterward to start like writing down all the chunk tasks and all the cool, exciting things I plan to do with my day that I zoomed in really close and realized, shit, I can't get over there. There's a wall in the way. So I'm going to leave that recording of me getting excited about this chunk just because I think it'll be interesting to hear. It'll remain relevant when I actually get that chunk sometime in the distant future. But then as soon as that's over, I'll come back and roll the actual chunk and comment on that. So prepare to cringe. Okay, here's the chunk picker. These are our new bummer chunks. I did the exam center, which would just be awful. The exam center by itself is basically nothing I can do there without the quest. And then above it is even worse, the dig site. And it would make me be able to roll the dig site. So I really don't want to get this guy. I think this is probably the worst chunk on the board right now. 12 is slightly less bad because it is progressing me towards the lumberyard, which I would need. But it does have like 80 trees in it. And not a lot of interesting enemies, just some guards, it looks like. Yeah. I guess technically it's inside Varrock, and that's where the tree stall is, so that's like a very small amount of additional per cycle thieving XP, but... So just to recap, I don't want 12, 11, 1, or 2, so I'm almost certainly going to roll one of those now. Let's go. Close my eyes. Hey, Port Sarum. Hell yeah, that is a chunk roll. Oh my gosh. I've been kind of bummed out. Like, it hasn't been demotivating or anything, but the last few chunks I've rolled, other than Draenor Village, have been really underwhelming. And this is the opposite of underwhelming. Like, in addition to all of the new locations this is going to unlock on its boundaries, just the chunk itself has some cool stuff in there. So I'll be looking forward to exploring that next episode. I also have to figure out what the connections are from Port Sarum. I don't know those off the top of my head because I'm going to have to go through and manually mark them, which I will do. Oh, also it's close to Remington, which is a house portal. It's close to the South Faldor Farm. I think this chunk is useless. Maybe it's not as useless as I thought. But yeah, no, that's rad. That's rad as hell. Yeah, I guess just so you can get excited for next episode, let's kind of quickly review what's there. We've got 10 seagulls, which I think are count as critters. I don't think they drop bones, but I'll double check that. Another man and woman, which will be good for thieving XP. Lots of shopkeepers and NPCs. Spawns, a banana, bronze bolts. More cheese is awesome. Shops. Wait, is Betty's Magic Emporium? Is that a rune shop? Do I not know that icon? Oh my god, I'm Googling this right now while I'm talking to you. That is potentially insanely hype. Oh my god, yes it is. Dude, she has elemental rune packs. She has 40 mind rune packs. So I can buy all 40 of them. And she individually stocks 5,000 mind runes, which I'm going to have to buy. Because I can buy up to her stock and then I can never interact with her again. That's radical. That's so cool. I don't think I realized it. I thought that was like a ring shop or something, but I think the ring shop is directly south of there. Sick. There's a battle axe bazaar. What is in Port Sarum? Sorry, I should be doing this research in the next episode, but I'm so excited now. I want to talk about it right now. I do get a fishing shop here, so now I'll be able to catch trout and salmon when I get the level for it. I'm probably going to need several more Evil Bob randoms before that becomes possible, but at least I'll be able to do it now as soon as that occurs. Oh, hey, the food store has a pot of flour, which means that next episode, one of the imps I kill is going to drop one. I've made this prediction for some time, but now we can do Cook's Assistant. Man, what a chunk! Holy shit! Yeah, that's most of it. And I guess we also have the Spirit Tree patch, which who most players wouldn't care, but for me, that's another source of raking XP. I don't think that there's an NPC there that I can buy tools from. I think the protection NPC doesn't sell tools, but we'll find out when we get over there. Features, there's 4 oak trees. Okay, there's a range. There's a sink. All right, so we do have some trees here, but it's not like a miserable number of trees. Lots of quests associated with this place. Many, many clue steps. Let's look at the activity info real quick. X marks the spot can be completed now. Okay. So yeah, now I can technically do Cook's Assistant and X marks the spot. Next episode's going to be hype. My motivation is at an all-time high, and it was already pretty high. I was already enjoying this playthrough a lot. Thanks for listening to me rant about how excited I am about this Port Sarim roll. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you next time in episode 9. It's going to be a good one. Bye. Hey everyone. 15 minutes later, future Marstead again. When I said cringe, I wasn't kidding, because I really, went on and on about how excited I was about getting Port Sarim. And I didn't realize it until I was basically done with all of my chunk setup stuff with the tasks and everything. I was looking at all of the connections. I noticed that the charter ship is technically down here, so that limits the number of connections a little bit. But I even marked, I was like, oh man, we could go to Entrana, and we could even go to 2 places in Karen. Wouldn't it be so cool to roll Karen? And we could go to pest control. We could do 1 pest control game per day. Can't do any of that, folks. And the reason we can't do any of that is because of this wall right here. There is no way for me to get over here without having the Draenor chunk unlocked and the South Falador farm chunk unlocked. So I need at least 2 more chunks to be able to get into Port Sarim. This requires the medium diary for Lumbridge, which isn't going to happen, and 40 agility, which isn't going to happen. So with great sadness, I need to undo all of this and roll a different chunk. So give me a second to do that. This is where I get punished for my hubris, right? All right, we're cleaned up. These are the actual chunks I can roll. And now I'm positive. I'm positive that I'm going to roll the exam center. Come on, big buddy. Oh, thank Christ. God, what an emotional roller coaster. All right, Varrock. Varrock's the one I wanted. Thank God. In fact, it's better because I was just thinking that, yeah, there's a rune shop in Port Sarim, but I really don't want to be wasting the limited number of mine runes I can buy without an air staff, and now I can get an air staff. So there's probably actually too much here for me to go over all of it now. I don't think I get a free pot of flour here like I was going to get in Port Sarim. And I can't do X marks the spot anymore. I was even excited about that because X marks the spot gives you a lamp for 300 XP, which I could put in agility, which would only get me to level 4 agility, but it would make agility lamps from random events way better. So yeah, getting Varrock does not let us complete any quest, it looks like. That's okay. There's still a lot of really cool stuff in Varrock. I'm so glad that the RNG gods weren't mean to me there, because it would have been so cruel to give me Exam Center after I was so pumped from getting Port Sarim. So I think next episode's still going to be fun. It's just going to be fun in a different way than I just detailed. Thanks everybody for watching, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.